Sometimes life hits you with a moment you never saw coming. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just a quiet shift in the air, the kind that makes you stop mid-breath and think, wait, what now? This essay is for that moment, for the pause after bad news, for the long exhale after a doctor's call, for the space where fear rushes in faster than answers. If you're here, maybe life handed you something you didn't ask for. Maybe you're standing between the life you thought you were living and the one you never planned for. And maybe, just maybe, you don't feel ready. You're not alone. This isn't a pep talk. It isn't a battle cry. It's a guide for the quieter kind of courage, the kind you don't brag about, but take with you anyway. So settle in. Take one honest breath. Let's walk through this moment together, slowly, clearly, and with enough gentleness to carry you forward. I hope you enjoy.
When life hands you lemons you never asked for. When life gets heavy, smile, breathe, and go slowly. Courage isn't always loud. It's often the quiet promise that you'll simply try again tomorrow. Let go of the weight that was never meant to be held. Be empty of worrying, and when life refuses to change for you, change the way you carry yourself through it. Prosperio orati. There's a certain kind of quiet that settles into a room when life gives you something you never saw coming. A diagnosis, a late-night phone call, a single sentence that changes the air around you. For a moment, before your mind reacts, everything pauses. It's as if someone dimmed the lights on the world and forgot to turn them back up. You stand in the soft ache of a moment you didn't choose, caught between the life you thought you were living and the one you've suddenly been handed. And here's the strange part. It's not always the news that breaks you. It's the thoughts that rush in after it. The what ifs, the why now, the I'm not ready. The mind is a restless traveler, always sprinting miles into a future that hasn't arrived. And it's in that sprint, not the moment itself, where the suffering begins. But there's another way, a slower way, a gentler way of meeting whatever has arrived at your door. Sometimes the body finds that way before the mind does. You can see it in people who've lived through storms. Their shoulders soften, their breath grows steadier, their voice settles into something quieter. Not because they're stronger, not because they're untouched, but because they've learned that fighting what already is only sharpens the wound. There's a kind of courage that doesn't roar, a quiet, tired courage that whispers, I'll try again tomorrow. We forget that this counts too. We forget that bravery can look like sitting beside fear without letting it take the wheel. We forget that strength can be soft, slow, and steady, like hands holding something fragile. There's wisdom in slowing down, in breathing deeper, in unclenching the jaw and letting the heart catch up to the moment, in releasing the heavy things your hands were never meant to grip so tightly. Worry pretends it's helping. It promises control. But all it does is rob you of peace before anything has even happened. You can't stop the waves, but you can stop drowning in the anticipation of them. And sometimes, no matter how hard you push or plead, life won't change for you. That's when something inside you shifts instead. Not because you lost, not because you surrendered, but because you discovered a quiet power in meeting life exactly where it stands, even when it's not where you hoped it would be. Softness becomes a kind of armor. Slowness becomes a way home. Letting go becomes a way of holding on to the part of you that still wants to live. Every day, someone hears news they never wanted to hear. And every day, someone finds a way through. Not with fire, not with fury, but with small acts of living. A single breath, a moment of stillness, a hand resting on the heart. I promise to keep trying. Sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Sometimes that's more than enough. If today feels heavy, if the world feels tilted, if you're standing in the space between what you hope for and what is, you are not failing. You are human. You're allowed to feel everything moving through you. You're allowed to not know what comes next. You're allowed to take it one pause, one breath, 1 hour at a time. Here's the truth. You are not powerless even here. Your response is still yours. Your breath is still yours. Your presence is still yours. Acceptance isn't giving up the fight. It's setting down the sword long enough to remember who you are. It's not letting go of life. It's letting life hold you. Just until you find your footing again. Stay slow, stay gentle, stay here. The next step will come when you're ready.